welcome to the deep dive. So you send us stuff you're curious about, and we dig into it for you.
Try and make sense of it.
Exactly. And today, we've got this piece you shared from a podcast, Shockwave Stories. It's about a car crash, but, well, it spirals.
Yeah, it really does. It starts as one thing, just an accident, but it quickly becomes something much bigger. We're going to unpack how that happens.
Right. Not just the crash itself, but the sort of chain reaction it set off. It pulled in the police in a serious way, uncovered crime.
And had this huge effect on the victim, James. It's that escalation, from impact to investigation to the personal aftermath. That's the journey here.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Paint the picture for us.
Right. So picture this. Southern California, sunny afternoon. James, he's in his mid-30s, graphic designer, just got married.
Sounds pretty normal.
Totally normal. He's driving home, probably got a nice coffee, thinking about dinner or whatever. Just everyday life stuff.
And then bam.
Pretty much. Out of nowhere, this SUV just runs a red light, slams right into his sedan.
The podcast clip had that boom sound, didn't it? Really sudden.
Yeah, instant chaos. Airbag deploys, there's smoke, and then that really eerie silence that sometimes follows a loud crash. Must have been terrifying.
So the immediate aftermath starts. Paramedics, police, standard stuff.
Well, yes and no. They arrive doing their thing, but the driver of the SUV, he's acting strangely.
How so?
Agitated, apparently. Pacing around, refusing medical attention, just seemed off, which, gets noticed.
Yeah, that would definitely raise some eyebrows. So the police step in.
Right. They start the routine questioning, and then they ask this one question, kind of standard but crucial here. Any weapons in the vehicle?
And the answer wasn't no.
Definitely not no. They find an unregistered firearm in the SUV.
Wow. Okay, so this isn't just running a red light anymore.
Not even close. And it gets worse because it turns out the driver, he's on probation.
Oh, man. So a traffic accident instantly becomes a potential felony investigation.
Exactly. And James, the victim, he's probably still in shock, maybe bruised up, and suddenly he's giving a statement for a criminal case.
That's a huge shift. From accident victim to witness in a criminal situation. Just like that.
It really shows how fast things can change, doesn't it? Your whole reality just flips.
And the story doesn't even stop there, right? There was more with the SUV.
Yeah, so later, when the insurance companies get involved doing their checks...
Standard procedure again.
Right. They find out the SUV was reported stolen.
Stolen. So the agitated driver wasn't even the owner?
Nope. Not the owner, which opens up a whole new can of worms.
Okay, so now we've got the crash, the gun, the probation violation, and a stolen vehicle. This is getting complicated.
Seriously complicated. It moves beyond just local police, likely involves multiple agencies now. You're looking at potential car theft rings, maybe identity fraud, who knows?
All triggered by one car running a red light. It's like pulling a thread, and a whole network starts to unravel.
That's a great way to put it. A chain reaction, all from that single moment of impact.
It really makes you think about the hidden stuff going on around us. But let's not forget James in all this. The car's wrecked, obviously. What about him?
Physically, bruises, soreness, the usual after a crash like that. But the podcast excerpt, it really emphasized the emotional toll.
Yeah, the unseen injuries.
Exactly. Anxiety, flashbacks, developing a real fear of driving, which is understandable. Things that stick around long after the bruises heal.
There's that dramatized quote, right, from James about the what ifs.
Yeah, like what if I'd left work a minute later? Or what if he'd hit me differently? Those thoughts can just haunt you, play over and over.
It shows how one single event can just send these ripples out, affecting someone for months, maybe longer.
Absolutely. The trauma is real and it lingers. But here's where James's story takes another turn, a more positive one, perhaps.
He didn't just stay stuck in that trauma.
No, remarkably, he didn't. He actually found a way to channel that whole awful experience into something constructive.
Like what? What did he do?
Well, he started speaking about it, went to high schools, talked about road safety, sure, but also about trauma recovery, sharing his experience.
Wow, that takes guts. Turning something so negative into a way to help others.
It really does. It shows incredible resilience, I think. And he didn't stop there.
Nope.
He also got involved in advocacy, pushing for better systems for reporting and tracking stolen vehicles, trying to make changes based on what happened to him.
So he went from victim to advocate, trying to fix the system that, in a way, caught him up.
Exactly. Finding strength, finding purpose, maybe in a really difficult situation. It's quite powerful.
It really is. Which kind of leads to a question for you. listening right now.
Yeah, put yourself in James's shoes for a second.
Your normal day just gets shattered. You're in this crash, and suddenly there's guns, stolen cars, police investigations. It's overwhelming. How do you think you'd react in that moment?
Would you freeze up? Panic? Or, like James, would you eventually find some way to, I don't know, turn it into something else, find that strength?
It's a tough thing to imagine, isn't it? How you'd cope with the shock and then the long aftermath.
Definitely makes you think about resilience, your own capacity to deal with the unexpected.
Well, thanks for exploring this with us. It's a really striking story you shared. Shows how one incident isn't always just one incident.
Yeah, the ripple effects can be huge. Uncovering crime, testing someone's spirit, it's all interconnected.
So thinking about James's story, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other small events, things you might just glance past every day?
Right. What unseen stories are connected to them? What bigger things might be hidden just beneath the surface, waiting for some unexpected trigger to bring them out? Makes you look at the world a little differently, perhaps.